Hello everyone, welcome to Kevin of Reza. This is Reza and this is our daily sports show. We talk about all kinds of sports here. Let's start with the NBA. Nets still without a win. Pelicans finally got their first win. Bulls defeated Sixers, the biggest game of the last night in the Eastern Conference, top and the second of the league. Bulls are the winner. Warriors won and Thunder defeated Clippers. I watched this game. Clippers were doing pretty good, going to head to head with them, but Thunder was very good in defending and very good in attack, especially defending the three-pointer shoots. And they finally are winner again, and they're doing pretty good for the start of the season. Let's go to the Champions League and football. Let's bring the games. Um, let's start with the biggest games of the night and then go to the other matches. The biggest game, let's start with Bayern Munich against Paris Saint-Germain. Bayern Munich started super good. They were creating a bunch of opportunities and scored one goal by Luis Diaz, and later Paris Saint-Germain had a slight comeback in the dynamic of the game. They were creating 1-2 opportunities. Still, Bayern was better, but Osman Dembele scored an offside goal, got injured, got subbed by force. After that, when Dembele left, Bayern was insanely better, pressuring, high pressure on the defense of Paris Saint-Germain. They were doing Paris Saint-Germain doing lots of mistakes, giving the ball away in the defensive line, couldn't create any good passes, any good dynamic for themselves. And Bayern Munich scored another goal by Luis Diaz. They could score a few more too, like 4 or 5 goals if they were using all their opportunities. Nonetheless, at the end of the first half, Luis Diaz, who scored 2 goals and had a brace already, had a very bad tackle on Ashraf Hakimi. He was very badly injured, and he got a red card, Luis Diaz. And Ashraf Hakimi may be out for a long time because the injury seemed very bad, and another force for Paris Saint-Germain in long term. It's probably another big issue for them, but in the short term, it helped them the red card because 10-player Bayern Munich is not as dangerous as the 11 players are. Paris Saint-Germain in the second half was all attacking, crosses, shoots, all kinds of opportunities, and Bayern Munich was just defending, nothing else. Paris scored 1 goal by Neves. They lost a few chances, a few shoots. Neuer got them, and deflected by Neuer, like saved by Neuer. It was a 1v1. He caught the ball very good, but a few of the headers and shoots were millimeters, inches from the goal, and I think Bayern Munich was lucky to save 2-1. I know a lot of people praised Bayern Munich, and of course they deserve the praise because they were a better team when it was 11 against 11, but I think in the second half they were lucky. Let's go to the Liverpool against Real Madrid. Liverpool was better all in all the game. There were minutes that maybe Real Madrid was better, but in total, maybe a few minutes, Real Madrid and Liverpool was much better. In the first half, Carreras were controlling Salah very well. Vinny was playing good. On the right wing of Real Madrid, nothing. It was like what I was saying, like Casper the Friendly Ghost was playing there. Nothing on the left. They were doing some stuff, but Liverpool was better, and they were quite. Real Madrid was quite lucky that they had Courtois. He was magnificent last game. He saved lots of shoots and absolute goals if it was any other goalkeeper, but nonetheless, he was saving a lot of shoots and possible goals. Though on the second half, if I'm yeah, what was the minute exactly? 61, yeah. McAllister scored on a set piece header. Again, I told you that Liverpool are getting much better in set pieces in defense and attacks, and they learned their lesson. And Carras weren't holding Salah as so good anymore. Vinny was completely faded. Mbappe was controlled all the game. Bellingham, not much you could see from him, almost nothing. Goulart maybe a little, but Bellingham nothing. The right side was completely gone, and Liverpool could score much more. If it wasn't because of Courtois, Liverpool was much better in this game. And the next game against City in the City ground, like not City ground, like Etihad, because City ground not Nottingham Forest. You understand me. Liverpool has a tough game, so maybe they needed a win, so they get out of the trouble area and as much as they can, because the game against City, any result can happen. As I said, McAllister scored. What else? Salah was playing much better. Um, I don't think Xavi Alonso also understood that his right side is not very good because he brought in Trent and Rodrigo to maybe recover. Trent, of course, being the previous Liverpool player, Liverpool fans are not very happy about his move, and he was booing him all the time. It affected his game a lot because anytime he was controlling the ball, he was passing it immediately because he didn't want to get the boot that much. I think it was because of that, because he was passing too fast and mostly wrong passes. So Liverpool was much better, and you could see them getting a little bit of their prime back. You should see that, as I told you many times, that they can and they will. So yeah, interesting game. All in all, I think Vinny shouldn't ever complain about being subbed by Xabi Alonso because he deserves it, because he's the first half player. Anytime I saw him on the second half, he's kind of getting faded and just not very useful anymore. Sorry, but like that's the truth, I think. And yeah, that's about that from that game. Militao had some good things. Let me see what else I wrote. What else? Yeah, that's pretty much. I think it is. Though, yeah. One more thing: Salah and Ekitike were very selfish in points. That's one of the reasons it's just 1-0, and that can cost Liverpool, and it should be addressed. That's what I think. Let's go to the other games. 4-0 for Tottenham. Before we start, City and Dortmund is the biggest match of the night. Benfica is playing, losing 3 of their games. So Jose Mourinho kind of in trouble in there, though not much, but he should change that. Newcastle, Chelsea, a lot of other games are being played. A lot of other teams are being played. So yeah, exciting game still tonight. Going to Tottenham, Tottenham scored 2 goals against Copenhagen. Copenhagen is not doing very great in Europe, so Tottenham was playing better. They got a red card, and after that they scored 2 other goals because Copenhagen was putting a lot of pressure and Tottenham were doing counter-attacks. The best goal was the third goal. Van de Ven, if I'm pronouncing his name right. He had a lot of controversy because the last game, the Derby of London, between Tottenham and Chelsea, they lost Van de Ven when Thomas Frank, the manager of Tottenham, wanted to talk to him. Van de Ven being the captain of the Tottenham, he kind of refused, and there were a lot of controversies about that, but he was playing this game. He scored. His goal was brilliant from their box to Copenhagen box. He ran on a counter-attack and he scored. Very brilliant goal to watch if you want to watch anything. Going to Eindhoven against Olympiacos, it was in Greece. Olympiacos was playing much better. I scored first, but it was the last goal from Eindhoven, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, it was 93 minutes. Yeah, but Olympiacos was much better. Eindhoven didn't do very good here, though they had very good season already. That's about that. Let's go to Juventus against Sporting. Sporting again scored first. Juventus scored in the 30 something, I think, or 40 minutes. But after that, no team could score. Uh, Juventus made lots and lots and lots of attacks, good opportunities. Sporting had a few, but Juventus made so much opportunity, but they just couldn't score anymore. And Vlahovic is doing great for Juventus, scoring goals, but I don't think he's enough. Being the only player that does this, they need a good finisher, same as Milan. And going to Monaco versus Bodo Glimt. Don't have anything about this. Just know that Monaco scored one and Glimt got a red card at the end. Nothing I know about it, and I don't want to talk about it because I don't know much. Napoli against Frankfurt, a nil-nil. It's a clean sheet is a very amazing result for Frankfurt. They normally concede a lot of goals. Nonetheless, of the result of the game, even if they score a lot, they concede a lot. Napoli, there weren't much opportunities in there. There were a few, but that's about that. And it's a nil-nil. Napoli is not on their best form, but they are surviving for now. Atletico Madrid against USG. Atletico Madrid scored 2 goals. Griezmann also scored another goal. One goal that it was 3-1 the game. Atletico scored 2 goals. Griezmann in between after the first goal scored a goal that was offside. USG scored a goal. I think it was like a set piece. But the thing is that at the end of the game, they had 1-2 good opportunity to score again, and it could be a draw. But in the last moment before the whistle, Atletico Madrid scored the third goal. They won. It's 3-1. They were a better team. They were doing much more better attacks, but it could be a 2-2. Moving on, Arsenal last game to talk about. Of course, it was the first game of the night, but last game to talk today. Gukeres and Martinelli are out. I don't know when they will return. I don't know if it was released when they will return, but they're out for now. So Merino was the striker, completed striker. He scored 2 goals. Saka first scored a penalty, cross, and Merino scored a tap-in and then a header. By a very bad exit by Slava Prague. Slava Prague was never close to win or draw the game, but they were close maybe to score a goal and break the clean sheet record of Arsenal that they're doing 5-6 games in a row. If I think it's 5-6 games in a row. They had a potential penalty, but it wasn't. The Arsenal defender didn't touch the Slava Prague player, and that's about that. What else about the news around? Wolves, Pereira got fired. He just renewed his contract, not just, but it's not long ago, but he got fired. It was time. They were not doing well at all. The people that are being talked about joining Wolves as the manager are Ten Hag. For God's sake, I mean, the only good thing is that as a Manchester United player, I will be happy if he takes some of the players he brought in and they're not good. But he's not a good manager in any way, in my opinion. Also, another consideration is Rodgers, who actually I think is a decent manager. He was good in Liverpool, he was good in Celtic. Fiorentina and Pioli also parted ways. They fired Pioli. Pioli did not bad in Milan, but at the last 2 seasons, he wasn't very good. At least the Milan fans were telling me a lot of times, they're not happy about Pioli. And now in Fiorentina, no wins. It's Fiorentina, for God's sake, they should fight for European games. And they didn't have a win in 10, 11 games. And he's fired, and I don't know who should be replacing, or who are the candidates, but we should see what happens. After that, that's about it. Have a great day. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and write a comment, please. And hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, bye.